Welcome to EEDE News. I'm Marika Lorraine along with photojournalist Bill Mills, and we have a treat for you. Over the next few days, you'll be getting an in-depth tour of our home while we're out here in the middle of the Pacific. And this tour of the Mermaid Vigilance will be guided by the one and only much beloved, extremely experienced, salty sailor, Captain Joe Litchfield.
Good afternoon, my name's Captain Joe Litchfield. I'm going to give you a brief and thorough explanation about where we are today. It's the Mermaid Vigilance, a fine and well-found vessel. We'll just walk from the stern where we are right now, along the back deck, and then we'll go topside. So here we are on the stern. These are called deck bollards. They're for tying up the vessel with that line right there. And that line, as you can see, is quite heavy. That's 8 strand, and it really is heavy. Too heavy for a man to handle, so we put it on the capstan, which is a mechanical turning element that we use with this big line to bring the ship in close to the dock. Without that, it would take 5 or 6 guys to manhandle this big line. You can imagine that that's the way to go. Moving forward, this artificial wall is called the bulwarks. Out here is the gunwale and the side of the vessel. This is put on some vessels in order to protect the guys working in here. This vessel was originally designed for doing oil, offshore oil supply runs. So you'd have pipes and things all over this deck, and this is a place where they tie off. That's what these deck bollards are for here. Up here, we have our aft crane. It's all folded up now, but it actually extends quite a way forward, and it can reach all the way around to the stern when we need it to. It has a retractable arm, and it's quite flexible, and it's a darn good piece of equipment to have back here, especially for the operations we're doing lately, where we need to bring up buoys. We always have a man on that crane. It's really a great thing to have. We didn't have to install it. It came aboard with the Vigilance. It's really a great piece of equipment to have on any vessel. And here it's kind of nice because it's up and out of the way, so it doesn't take up any deck space, which I think is a great thing. So it's in a good position to do a lot of very different, diverse jobs. One of the great things about this boat, there's lots of little features like that that we as clients really enjoy. This deck, literally the deck, is made for this kind of work. Here's why. It's flat. Unlike most work decks are chamfered for the water to run off, this is nice and flat. So it suited our purposes for this charter almost perfectly. There was no big fabrication in order to get the job done. They actually had allowed 5 days to do it. These guys get it done in 3. That's how great the ship was set up. Power sources and hydraulic sources right in this work area was almost ideal. You'll notice that what I was talking about, how level the deck is for putting in this equipment, we couldn't have asked for a better setup. As we go forward, you'll see on this side, there's another capstan. So if we had to tie up on the port side or the starboard side, are exactly the same when it comes to tie-up situations. One of the great things about this vessel, aside from the vessel itself, is the crew. They're part of the team as well, and we love them all. They're good fellas. And every Sunday we give them a break, and one of us guys cooks some chicken and hamburgers and hot dogs, do a little American food. These fellas are just great though. And you can see we have a big area again. We have a surplus of room, which is Very rare in this kind of business. We have an extra. We had so much room, I'll show you here. This is the only vessel I've ever been on that has one of these. You're going to appreciate this. Hold it there. We can actually have basketball games on this deck. Fortunately, there's better shots than I. You can see the crew guys doing some very important work here today. Hey Stan, what are you making here?
It's for handle.
Handrail for over there?
Yeah.
Handrail. I'm making a handrail for that entryway. They're doing a fine job. We have some very skilled men on this vessel that can make anything, fix anything. And you can see that they're all dressed for safety. All dressed for safety. Eyes, gloves, hard hats. That's being a specially made handrail for our special guest in a few days. Good job, Andy. Okay. I'm going to take you topside now. We'll go up to the next level. One of the things we have on these ladders that you'll see is grips, of different color, and the rails are different color. This is all safety stuff. Everything on every vessel is safety first. You can see a little sign right there where it says home safely. Those aren't just sayings. We believe that. Safety first and home safely. We live those words every day. I've seen too many accidents, lots of which shouldn't have happened. Let's go topside.